Hey, welcome to another video on Expected Value Lotto, where we look at US scratch tickets and their expected values. And in this video, we're looking at the new Texas Lottery $5 Super Loteria ticket. And so this is part of the December 2023 series of tickets coming out in Texas. And yeah, I mean, I'm always excited when I see a new when I see a new Lotteria ticket. I love Lotteria. Unfortunately, here in my state of Georgia, we only have one. And so you guys are really super lucky to have, a whole slate of Lotteria tickets to play. Um, this one plays just like any other Lotteria would. You've got your pictures down here and you're trying to, get a line horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. And then down here, you've got your bonus spots where if you can find all four symbols, you get the prize shown. Now here on this page, we're looking at the prize structure and odds that the Texas Lottery put out on this game. Overall odds are 1 in 3.77, and it looks like you can win anywhere from $5 up to $100,000. Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy stands out here. I mean, the one thing I'll mention is the thing I mention actually, yeah, now that I'm looking at it, the odds of winning the $500 and the $5,000 prize seem a little long. But I always say this about Texas $5 tickets. I think the top prize is just too low. Texas, I think, has lost its way a little bit in what a lottery is supposed to be, and is supposed to be, a chance for a lucky individual or a lucky couple of individuals to win like life-changing money. And on a $5 ticket, you should have a minimum of $500,000 here, and probably you should have $1 million here. And so I think Texas is really cheaping out on these $5 tickets by just offering $100,000 for the top prize, and then it's even less than that with taxes taken out. And not only that, but the odds are really long to hit it. So you're making a $5 wager to win less than $100,000 at 1 in 2 million odds. Yeah, I mean, I like Lotteria, but I don't like the wager for the top prize at the odds that the Texas Lottery is giving on this game. So we will talk about taxes in Texas. For any prize over $5,000, they're automatically going to take out 24% in taxes. I don't view that tax money as part of the value of a game, and so that is going to affect how I view that top prize. So instead of $100,000, I'm going to view this as $76,000. And so, yeah, I mean, any other ticket besides Lotteria, I would say no, thank you. But I think Lotteria is fun, so it might. If I lived in Texas, I might buy one or two of these, just because I think the game is fun, not because I like the wager and the top prize at the odds being offered. But with that adjusted top prize, when you run the numbers on this game, you find out that the payout comes in between 67 and 68%. And this is unfortunate because it comes in quite a bit below the minimum 70% payout that we look for all scratch tickets. There's never any reason at all for a state to put out any ticket with a payout less than 70%. States can make plenty of money in that 70% range. And so for Texas to put out a $5 ticket at less than 70% payout it's just disrespectful to the customer. They're taking way more money out than they need to. And I mean, it needs to stop. I mean, Texas really needs to focus on bringing up these payouts and showing their customers that they value them instead of showing that they want to take advantage and rip customers off. We also need to mention that this 67% payout does include all of the top prizes and upper mid-tier prizes, which very few people are going to be winning, which means there aren't very many people that are actually going to see a 67% payout on this game. And so what we want to know is, what is the payout going to be for the average person with average luck who may not be hitting the top prizes? And in order to figure that out, we're going to subtract out the value of the top 1% of prizes, recalculate, and see what the new payout is going to be. So looking back here at the prize structure, the separation between the top 1% and bottom 99% of prizes on this ticket happens here at the $100 prize. So if you are playing this, when you do win on this game, you will expect to see somewhere between $5 and $100. Now at the $100 prize level, the split there is about 55-45. So 55% of these $100 prizes are here in the bottom 99% of prizes and are available to average folks. The other 45% of these $100 prizes are going to be included here in the top 1% of prizes. Now, top 1% prizes are really tough to hit. If you want to know the odds of hitting one, look at the overall odds, move that decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and it's about one in every 377 tickets that would have a top 1% prize on it. And so, you're in well over $1,500 before you would expect to see even one of these top 1% prizes. So that's important to keep in mind if you plan on playing this game. Now, because so few people are going to be winning top 1% prizes, we are going to take all of this value and subtract it out of the payout number you saw before. And that's going to leave us with the payout of just the bottom 99% of prizes, where 99% of people are going to be playing this game. And when we do that, we find out that the payout of just the bottom 99% of prizes comes in between 59 and 60%. This is also below the 60% minimum that we look for the bottom 99% payout. Now, it's not much below, but I'll still make the case that when you have a ticket here in the 59 or in the 50% range, you're just losing your money so fast that it makes a game that is supposed to be fun, not as fun. To me, it's fun to win back a decent amount of the money that I'm putting in. And when you're playing here in the 50% range, you're just not winning back as much as you should. And so I typically avoid games with bottom 99% payouts below 60%. I might make an exception for Super Loteria just because I think it's a fun game, but we like to see those bottom 99% payouts above 60%. Now, here on this page, we are tracking the increases and decreases in Texas $5 tickets. The Super Loteria data point is all the way over here on the right, so you can see we did get a bump in value from the Lucky times 10 ticket that also came out this month. And so that is good to see, but still the value is not where it needs to be. I mean, none of the Texas $5 tickets are above 67% payout, much less 70. And even 70% would be a low payout for a $5 ticket. So Texas is really taking advantage of people with these $5 tickets. Yeah, I mean, if it were me, I would be writing in to the Texas Lottery and just letting them know that you don't appreciate being taken advantage of, basically. So normally I would say, when you see an increase in value, it might be a good time to buy a ticket just to show appreciation. But, if this were any other normal ticket, I would say don't touch it. It's such a bad value. Because it's Lotteria, I think maybe we can excuse a little bit of lower value, but still, I mean, even with this being Lotteria, 67% is just a really, really low, bad, disrespectful payout. Now, if you are playing $5 tickets in Texas for some reason, in green up at the top, we have the best ticket in every category. So if you're playing for overall value, the cash payout ticket would be the one you would want to play. However, 67% is trash, so I wouldn't be playing that ticket, even though it's the best. If you're playing for odds, 777 multiplier and Ruby Mine 9X both have the best odds. However, the values are still low. They are trash tickets. I wouldn't be playing those. If you are a more conservative player and you like to keep as much of your money as possible, so you want to lose as little as possible, the Super Cash Word ticket does come in over 60%. So this is actually, a decent ticket for the average player, but then it lacks value in the top 1%. So the overall value is not good, so I can't recommend that one. And then if you are more of a high roller and you like to win a little bit more when you are lucky enough to hit in the top 1%, the Holiday 777 ticket would be the one you would want to play, but the overall value, again, is not good. You're going to take a beating if you don't win in the top 1%. So that's also a risky ticket to play. Over here on the right, we're keeping track of the top prizes, so you can take a look at that if you are interested. One thing that did stand out to me is the Bingo times 20 ticket. Came out 3 months ago, and according to the Texas Lottery, hasn't had a top prize hit, so that is a little bit surprising. Now, here on this page, we are ranking Texas $5 tickets based on overall value. Super Loteria comes in here in 4th place. So, It's near the top of the list. It is a competitive ticket based on Texas values, but we're going to see on the next couple of pages here that it is not super competitive when it comes to what other states are offering. Now, here on this page, we are ranking Texas $5 tickets based on that bottom 99% value, friendliness to the average player. Super Loteria comes in 6th place overall here. Again, we would like to see a little bit more value here, to bump this up over 60%. Now, here on this page, this is where we get to compare $5 tickets across states. And you can see Super Loteria did make the top 35 list for the $5 ticket category. That is not great to be in 35th place. And you can see Texas not really competitive at all in the $5 ticket category. You've got Florida regularly getting more value than the Texas tickets. California has more value. Georgia has more value. Massachusetts really has the only $5 tickets where their values should be. Every other state is basically ripping people off. Texas is super ripping people off with their $5 tickets. But what we really want to do is look up here at the top of the list and look at what Massachusetts is doing. And Massachusetts is regularly putting out $5 scratch tickets at 76% payout. And so we have to ask the question, if they can do that, if they can regularly put out $5 tickets at 76% value and make plenty of money doing it, then why is Texas putting out $5 tickets at 67% payout? So, that's a 9 percentage point difference. And that's a huge amount of money when you consider how many tickets, make up just one of these games. So one game could very easily have 10 million tickets that make up the entire game. If you multiply that 10 million times the $5 price tag, that's $50 million for just one game. And when you're talking about 9 percentage points, that's $4.5 million that the Massachusetts lottery would be putting into the hands of its players, that the Texas lottery folks, the Texas lottery people are just sticking in their pockets and doing who knows what with. And actually, this Super Loteria, I took a glance, there's 30 million tickets that make up this game. So multiply 4.5 million by 3, and that's $13.5 million that the Texas Lottery is holding out from its customers that it doesn't have to. And so, I think it's worth asking, why would Texas do that? Why would Texas hold out $13.5 million from its customers when it doesn't have to? And I think it really has to do with the poor view that it has of its customers. I mean, Texas really does not view its customers in high regard if they're willing to, rip people off like they're doing. Now, here on this page, we get to compare across states for that bottom 99% payout, so friendliness to the average player. Super Loteria, a little bit more competitive here in 22nd place overall, but you really have to be in the top 18 to get to where, you're over that 60% mark. And this is where we like to see the bottom 99% values. Now, on this page, I have taken a couple of screenshots from the master list of tickets that I review on the channel. And so, just to provide a little bit more context as to how bad Texas $5 tickets are, you've got the best $3 ticket. It comes out of Georgia. It has 71% value. That's 4 percentage points more than what this more expensive $5 ticket has coming out of Texas. We got a $2 ticket from Georgia this month that had 74% payout. You've got the more expensive $5 Super Loteria ticket with, we'll call it 6.5 percentage points less than this $2 cheaper ticket from Georgia. And then you've got the $1 ticket from Massachusetts. Massachusetts regularly putting out $1 tickets at 69% value. So you've got the cheapest ticket that you can buy, $1 from Massachusetts, has over 2 percentage points more value than the $5 ticket coming out of Texas. I mean, Texas should be ashamed of itself. It's embarrassing that they would put out a more expensive ticket that has so much less value than these other cheaper tickets from other states. If I lived in Texas, I would be angry. I think it's worth getting upset about. And Texas, yeah, they're just not doing a good job. Now here on this page, these are the top 36 tickets we've looked at on the channel so far. We do have some $5 tickets on this list. We've got some tickets from Massachusetts that have made it, so it is possible. We just need Texas to get its act together and put out some decent tickets that its customers deserve. Here on this page, we're looking at the top 36 tickets based on the bottom 99% payout. And we do have a couple of $5 tickets that have made this list. So again, it is possible if only Texas would treat its customers with a little more respect. I think they could get on the list. So that's about it for the Texas Lottery $5 Super Loteria. I am a super big fan of the game. I am like not a fan of what the Texas Lottery is doing to its customers. The Texas Lottery is just keeping so much money that they don't have to keep. Just blindly ripping off its customers. The Texas Lottery doesn't advertise the payouts of its games. If it's going to rip customers off like it's doing, it ought to be transparent at least, and put the payouts on the tickets so customers know how bad they're getting ripped off. But so it's unfortunate, that they did this to a great game. Yeah. So if you're playing these, good luck on them. Hopefully you win some prizes in the top 1%. If you do, let us know in the comment section below so we can congratulate you. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.